Let us talk about a financial independency journey, okay? So we've been doing a lot of like business talk videos, and I want to start a new series, Financial One-on-One. And for this series, I just want to talk about different financial aspects as far as, I'll talk a little bit about trading since I do Forex trading and cryptocurrency trading, but that will be a little bit further later. But today's video, I just want to talk about three key things when it comes to financial independency or the journey towards financial independency. Now, before I even go any further, I'm not here talking about some quick get rich thing or whatever that. First of all, I'm not even advocating for anyone to try and become rich. I honestly advocate way more for you to become wealthy. Huge difference. We'll talk about that later in the next series of videos. On this video, I want to talk about three key points of the journey towards financial independency. Now, this is based on my experience and still journeying towards that, and also some of the things I've been able to read. Now, those three key things I'm personally looking at is number one is know your numbers and know your number. Know your numbers and your number. And I'll talk about what that means in a second. And then number two, diversification of income. What I mean by that is it's not just about like you clocking in work and then you get paid. Financial independence is about having money work for you. You know, kind of like Warren Buffett says, you'll never really be wealthy if you don't make money while you're sleeping. So basically having money work for you is what I'm trying to say. And then number three is actually checking your books at a constant rate, balancing your numbers. A lot of people actually don't even do that. And that actually affects your income as far as how you spend your money financially and how you can be able to prosper later in the future. So let's talk about that first key part that I was talking about as far as knowing your numbers and knowing your number. Now, you see, a lot of people usually try to associate financial independency with $1 million or $100 million, but that is actually completely false. Okay, financial independence is not about X amount of millions of dollars. It's actually you being able to calculate this is the number of liabilities, right? You have your house payments, you have your car bills, and this is how much they amount to, right? And then on the other end, you're like, this is how much I need to make. And also this is how much I need to make to be able to save some money for rainy days. You being able to balance those books is financial independency. That's why each and every different person has their own numbers. And then the other part is know your number. By that number, what I mean is, what is the number where you'll be able to be comfortably enough to kind of say, I don't have to clock in to my job anymore. Now, it's highly recommended you go into the next step here, diversification of income. It's never a good idea to basically say you're only going to rely on one income source, because as reliable as your job might be, the economy can be able to tank, it can be able to jump up and down, and it's good for you to have a diversification to have an income coming in. You know, kind of like Warren Buffett has over 72 different streams of income. That's why he's a pretty good investor and a billionaire at his class and level in investing and stuff like that. So diversification of income basically means you have different income sources coming in. Now that can be either some stocks you're holding, it can be your regular job as well, it can be a side hustle, it can be you selling stuff on an e-commerce website, basically any kind of stream of income that's diversified. Now it's just about getting income in, but it's also about the assets you hold. Now that can be you're holding a Tesla stock or something and it's worth this much amount of money. That's an asset, right? It already passed its liability stage where it's not making you profit. That's still an income source where you can be able to cash out and get actual money. You can be able to be a day trader who trades the cryptocurrency or the Forex market or the stock market. So those are different income sources you have. And it's good to have them diversified so that if one stops working, you can be able to hold pretty well. Now, one rule you can be able to have is your primary income source should be 60% of your income, and then the other diversification should be able to balance out the books for you better so that if you ever have a challenge with your primary income, you can be able to rely on the other one. You see what I'm saying? Now, the final part is actually checking your books at a constant rate. Constant rate. I balance my books each and every week, okay? I'm able to calculate my assets, my liabilities, and where do those numbers move around, and I make sure the books are balanced in a good way. I'm very, very specific when I'm talking about balancing your books, down to the cent. You had something to eat out for this weekend, go balance your books. Make sure you check your bank account or your PayPal, whatever it might be, and see where money is going out, okay? You see, so many people are just focused on money coming in, but the biggest thing is the money going out, because the money that's going out is your liabilities, and it hinders you from financial independency if you have a lot of money going out. Now, if you are honestly under 40 years old and you're trying to live all luxury and stuff, that's gonna hinder your financial independency. You see, there's a lot of different things you need to learn about financial independency. First of all, don't buy a car brand new, cash on the table because you wanna show off. Stop doing this crazy, okay. I don't want to rant into those other financial independency stuff. You see, this is why I want to start this series, because I feel like it can help you the same way it's been able to help me kind of like realize a lot of different things. Because I used to also think about like, oh, like showing off stuff is kind of how you show off that you are rich. But rich is not what we're trying to accomplish here. Wealthy is where the game's at. Okay, so anyway, this is a new series I'm about to start, and please pay attention to those 3 key points that I went over. Know your numbers, okay, balance the books, know your assets, liabilities, so you can be able to know what your financial independency is. And to be honest, you can end up finding out that, hey, my financial independency goal, I just need to make $35,000 a year and a bonus of $10,000 to save. That's my financial independency goal. It's not $1 million, it's not $1 billion. Trust me, know your numbers, balance the books, and get straight to the fact. As soon as you break that barrier of the first like level of knowing your numbers, now you can start talking about 100,000, 6 figures to $1 million, and etc. 7 figures, right? You see what I mean? And then the other thing is know your number. You have to know that number. It's not $1 million and it's not $1 billion. Be humble and know your actual number. After you're humble and you conquer that number, you can be able to level up and be able to target different things. By the way, Warren Buffett did not become a billionaire overnight. Go look at his history, okay? When he was in his 20s, he had hundreds of thousands of dollars, not millions of dollars. Actually, he became a significant billionaire when he was 50 years old. So he knew his numbers and he made sure to know how to conquer each stage. That's why it's key. The next thing is diversifying your portfolio. Make sure that you are kind of in a mind, in a state of trying to see different investments and train yourself. You're not gonna like just out of the back just start making different good investments here and there. Take the step back and be patient. And once you start knowing how to diversify your income, it'll help you a lot. Even if it's an extra $200 a month, $10 a month, that is asset coming in and not a liability. And the final part with the liability and assets, balance your books as constantly as possible. Don't just blindly buy stuff, and don't just blindly look at your bank account statement and just be like, oh, looks good. That's just about the same thing. Look, to be honest, the more money you make, your expenses should be less. Let me repeat that. The more money you make, your expenses should be less. If you just got a raise and your numbers are still balancing the same place, there's something wrong with your balancing in the books, and that's an actual problem. You see, a lot of people usually get a job and they spend more money, right? So basically, they're not even earning more. It cancels itself out. So if you're a person earning $10,000 a year ago and you start earning $20,000 this year, but you increase your expenses as well, you'll never be financially independent, because you can be, okay, this is the whole rich and wealthy part. I kind of wanted to go into this a little bit. You can be showing off bling, chains, and everything else, okay? I'll give you a perfect example. Jay-Z, when he was worth $100,000, he had the gold chains, he had the Rolexes and all those different things, but now he's worth close to $1 billion. He's dressed as simple. He's a simple guy. Even his new album, 4-4, he talks about it. That money you're posting on Instagram, we don't call that money over here. Like, pay attention, okay? So, sorry about that. A little bit of a rant right there, but just wanted to show you that just because you're rich doesn't mean you're actually independently wealthy. You can be rich and be broke literally the next year because you're spending the same amount of money you're earning. That's why a lot of athletes end up going kind of broke after 2-3 years because they were living a certain lifestyle that wasn't very smart financially. And it's not about even you have to make that much money. It's even right now. You practice that right now, so when you have that opportunity, you don't take an L. Anyway, this is a little bit longer episode because I wanted to introduce the whole financial independency kind of financial 101 episode series. I wanted to start, kind of diversify my YouTube portfolio as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and also hope you guys are looking forward to more episodes. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. It is Entrepreneur of Art, also known as Steve Aura. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, share it, and send your questions, my way. I'll try my best to answer them and put them on series on the Q&A episodes. So if you have any suggestions, because this series started from the inbox section. Person messaged me, was like, hey, do you have any tips on financial independency? I'm like, let's get this started, and everyone shares the knowledge. So thank you very much for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.